Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Against the Spread. This is NFL Week 9. Huge week for the team last week.
Yes,
Me and
sir.
Christian
Yes, sir.
both. We'll go over the recap real quick. 6-1-1 on the week last week, plus 6.9 units, almost doubled our unit size. So I'll kind of go through mine. I'll let Christian go through his. Saints plus 1.5, plus 2 units. Lock of the week again. Your boy is 7-1 on these this year. I mean, proof is in the pudding here. Every week, cash. So, Bengals plus 3.5. No sweat there. Outright winner. Underdog. Easy money. Dolphins -9. They were leading the entire game. Tried to give that cover away, but ended up scoring late in the fourth quarter to cash that. Rams +7. I mean, never a shot, right? Never a shot.
Yeah,
That just,
that
yeah.
was
Well,
rough.
it was like 25-3 in a blink of an eye. So 3-1 for me. Christian, I'll let you go through yours real quick.
Yeah. So lock of the week, Titans +3. As you guys know, big Falcons guy. Knew that was a bad spot for us. Now we got Heineke starting this week. Super excited about to get into that and just excited on that just in general. Also had the Vikings money line. Loved that play. It was a pick'em game. Had them money line. Kirk tore his Achilles, which was terrible. We're huge Kirk guys on this podcast. Always will be. Hope he gets healthy recovery and gets back because he was possibly the best quarterback in the league this year. Jets -3. It was a push. That was an ugly game. Watching that game, immediately regretted betting on it. Did not know it was going to rain like that. I think if it doesn't rain like that, the Jets would have probably won easily. But that's neither nor or here because that didn't happen. But yeah, excited to get into this week. 3-0-1 on the week for me. So close to that undefeated
Big bounce
week.
back for you, buddy.
Yeah,
Big
huge
bounce
bounce
back.
back. Went from 0-4 the week before to 3-0-1. Almost had the 4-0, just a full 180. But hey, we're gonna try to get it this week. But also, guys, look at these units here. If you're playing $100 units, you're up $1,400. If you're playing $500 units, you're up $7,000. And if you're a big spender and you're in $1,000 unit guy, you're up 14 grand off this show. I mean, I haven't heard of a show with these type of numbers or up these type of units. So like, subscribe. See you guys here every Thursday. But yeah, I'm excited to get in this week. Troy, you wanna
Yeah,
intro our
I
guest
mean,
for us?
yeah. With that being said, our guest for this week, welcome Nick Drake to the show.
Yes, sir.
What's going
Yes,
on,
sir.
guys?
What's going on? What's going on?
Ready to get this
Repping the
thing
Oregon
started?
Duck gear.
Yeah, let's hop into it, boys. Let's hop into it. Thursday night football. We got Tennessee at Pittsburgh. We got Pittsburgh -2.5 with an over/under of 36.5. Quick 2 cents on this one. I'm a little biased on this one, of course. I would being a Steelers fan. I don't think that Will Levis is ready for this type of environment in this game. Coming into Pittsburgh, I think it's going to be a hard game for him. Possibly the best defense in the league right now. But yeah, so if I was to lean anyway, definitely be Pittsburgh -2.5. But I'm gonna stay away from it because Levis. We had Levis last week. He threw 4 touchdowns, so I'm gonna stay away from this one. You got anything on this one, Troy?
Yeah, I'm with you, man. This is really a toss up too. You have a rookie quarterback coming into this game, and then Kenny Pickett has been pretty bad this year. So for me, like you said, I'm going to stay away from this one. I would definitely lean the under here. Two bad offenses this year. I mean, again, two great defenses. So under is really the only play here if you want to bet this. But I don't like it that much to where it's going to be one of my plays this week.
Yeah, no, same here. I would probably lean the under as well. However, I do think the Titans are going to be playing from behind, so I would like to see what I can pull it up right here. Yeah, so total receptions for D Hop is 3.5. So this might be one of those games where you slam that. But in
Four and
terms
a
of like,
half, really?
yeah, 3.5 is, I mean, that's pretty
Yeah,
pretty
and
good.
Will,
Three and a
what
half.
he caught what 3 touchdowns last week from Will Levis, so it looked like he
Yeah,
was targeting him a lot.
I don't think he's gonna have his way, with the secondary
Yeah,
they had last week. But I mean, he looks pretty good. It's at least going to get the defense to play not so much in the box. They're going to have to back off. So I think they can play from behind, and there could be some interesting props that you could play. But I mean, I don't really like anything about this game. Maybe the under.
That's the only way I could probably look is the under. I mean, the 2.5.
I wonder what the weather's going to be in this game too. If it's going to be raining up in Pittsburgh,
snowing maybe. I mean,
what, is it snowing?
It might be. I mean, it's cold enough in Pittsburgh right now. So I mean, this is a snow game. This might be a game time Pittsburgh play for me because Levis is a Kentucky boy. He ain't ready for no snow. But yeah, let's
you act like it doesn't get cold in Kentucky, but
I mean, it gets cold, but Pittsburgh snow is different. But let's hop into this next one. This is gonna be a fun game, I think. We got Miami versus Kansas City. This one is gonna be on neutral ground. This is gonna be in Germany. Super excited to watch this game. But that's all we're gonna do is we're just gonna watch it. We're not gonna bet it. Too many unknowns in this game. Is Mahomes, the illness kind of factor. Also is the Kansas City offense has just not been anything to, gasp at this year. They've been terrible at almost every receiving position. I mean, it looks rough in Kansas City right now, but they're still a good football team. You don't bet against Mahomes. But I'm just excited to watch this Germany game because I don't know if y'all remember last year when Tom Brady was there, that stadium was loud. And they didn't leave. Cool. The game ended, no one left. Everyone was still in their seats for like an hour after the game. But yeah, just excited to watch this one. No bets on this one. I don't even have a lean here. You got anything on this one, Troy?
Yeah, no, Christian, I agree with you. The Patrick Mahomes question mark is really the big thing here. In any other situation, I'm taking the Chiefs off a loss under a field goal. You always take Mahomes under a field goal.
Absolutely.
But with the flu that he had, he looked pretty bad last week with it. I don't know if he's healthy this week. They haven't announced anything. So, like I told you earlier in the day, this would 100% be a play for me with the Chiefs. But with that illness, that's a big question mark. I mean, have you ever tried to do something with the flu? I mean, the only thing you want to do is lay in the bed, right? So, yeah, it's a non-play for me. I mean, I've seen a lot of pro guys go on the Dolphins for obvious reasons. I could probably lean that way, but if Mahomes comes in and he's 100% off that sickness, it's go time, right? So, yeah, definitely staying away from this one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, Troy, you're about shot after a freaking pink eye. You know what I mean? That's. So,
yeah, if you're wondering why I keep itching my eye is completely swollen right now. But your boy is here, ready to roll with this. So, anyways, go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, I actually have this in my teaser. I'll get to later in the show. But in terms of the game, like last week, coming off a loss and under, I think was it 1.5? I saw it at 2.5. I mean, anything under 3, you take Mahomes. But
it's going down throughout the day, Nick.
What's that?
It's going down throughout the day. It was at 2.5 earlier today. It's at 1.5 now.
Yeah, if this was in like Kansas City or even just Miami, but the fact that coming off flu and flying, I think probably 12 hours to freaking Germany. I mean, you really only get 2 days of rest. I can't do it, but my teaser, I like that because it has him at plus 7.5. And I think Mahomes has only lost 2 or 3 times over 7 points in his whole career.
Yeah.
So,
sick Mahomes or not, I still think this is a 1-possession game for sure. It doesn't matter if it's a field goal or touchdown for sure. But yeah, one more thing about this game is I want to have a little flashback moment to when we did bet. I bet against the Bills, I believe, when they went to when Jacksonville was already in London, and then Bills had to travel to Jacksonville, who was already there. And we talked about how that's a tough spot for the Bills. Now we have the same spot here.
You talked about that.
Right, but I did take Jacksonville, and we got a big dub. We got a big dub on that one. But I'm saying it's kind of the same spot here. I did hear that Miami is going earlier than Kansas City, and Mahomes is also sick, so he's not going to have time to recover from that flight. His body's not going to be recovering, so if I was looking anyway, I honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I'd probably lean Miami, but still not going to touch it.
Yeah.
But I know
Miami.
Go ahead.
Miami's already there, actually. So
yeah, they got there early. I think they got there like yesterday, right? But yeah, I don't think I think Kansas City gets there tomorrow, which would be Thursday. But
Right.
yeah, so let's hop into this next game though. I know we love this next game. Next game we got is Minnesota at Atlanta. We got Minnesota plus 4.5 with an over under of 37.5. I'll let you kind of go into this one here, Troy, and then I'll
Yeah.
kind of finish this one up.
Oh, for sure. No, let's not overcomplicate things here. Kirk Cousins is out for the year. The backup for the Vikings is playing. Joshua Dobbs is not playing. I don't even remember the guy's name, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I
We're
don't
not.
either.
I mean, there's not a chance in hell he's going in Atlanta. They have a good fan base there. They win at home. I think they're undefeated at home this year. Maybe they've lost one. He's not going in there first start scoring any type of points. -4.5. I feel like it's a no-brainer. Like, let's not overthink this, right? So give me Atlanta -4.5 is one of my bets this week. And Taylor Heineke's starting now. We don't have to deal with Desmond Ritter. Like, we've seen him in Washington. He was the covering king in Washington, right? So give me Heineke. He's going to be spreading the ball out to London and the boys. He's a veteran guy that I feel like is going to realize, hey, let me get the ball out quick to my playmakers. I got a ton of them, right? And I don't see how they don't just completely mollywop the Vikings with that backup quarterback. So yeah, 4.5, easy money.
Absolutely. What you got, Nick?
No, I agree. I mean, if you look at the Falcons' wins, I know you guys are higher on their defense than I am, but I mean, I think they've only beaten, I think, one.
I was just about to say. Me and
Yeah, I
Troy
mean,
have actually talked about this. The overinflation of the Falcons defense. They're not as good as the ranks that have them up.
yeah, I mean, I think they played the best quarterback they played, I think, was Baker or Jordan Love.
Yeah.
I think they won one of those games and lost the other. So, I mean, their defense is good when they play QBs like this. So, Jaron Hall, BYU, I don't think he's going to be able to hang around with this. I think it's going to be a lot of like third and longs. I bet you they have a lot of turnovers, and I just think 4.5. This is one of my bets as well. That Falcons, coming off a loss at home, this is easy money in my opinion.
Absolutely. Yeah, just kind of recap everything that they said. Yeah, so kind of what Nick was referring to too. I do want to kind of hint at that, even though it is against our bet. Is I do think the Falcons are this top 3 defense in the league, but when all in reality they've played Tampa Bay, Green Bay. They haven't played real talent at the quarterback or the offense, like a really good offense yet. But I still think in these spots when they're playing these type of teams, it's too easy. Kirk Cousins was the only good part of this team, and he tore his Achilles. I think all the air is probably out of this locker room. No one knows how they're gonna play, what they're gonna do, what their play style is gonna be like. So yeah, give me the Falcons -4.5 for the lock of the week. Love that play so much. Big Falcons guy, of course, but I honestly, even being unbiased about this, still love the Falcons in this spot, even if I wasn't a fan. So
Yeah,
um,
Christian, I'll leave it at this too. I mean, we got to give the fan base here some credit. That
yes,
place
sir.
gets loud. I've been in the stadium multiple times. I used to work there. The place gets loud. So I think like I said, they're 3-1 at home. They'll be ready to roll. Though let's not overthink it, and we'll get on to Seattle at Baltimore.
Yes, sir. Next game, Seattle at Baltimore. So yeah, this is Seattle plus 5.5 with an over under of 44.5. You got anything on this one, Troy?
Yeah, no, nothing for me here. I would definitely lean the Seattle Seahawks with 5.5. A lot of points, but Baltimore has looked like one of the best teams in the league this year. I think Lamar's finally figuring out the Monken system, and they look really good. So, yeah, I like the number at 5.5 plus the points. Yeah, like you always take that spot, right? But the Baltimore, they've just looked way better than expected. And so for me, that's where I'm. Hey, a quarterback that's been playing really well, I try to stay away from that. So I'm going to be out on this one, but I would definitely lean the Seahawks. Nick?
Yeah, no, I have this one in my teaser as well, but to me, I mean, Seahawks really don't move the ball very well. So I think you guys like the 5.5. I mean, I see why you do, but I'm very, very high on the Ravens this year. I think they they could win the Super Bowl. I think Lamar is playing better than anyone right now. No one's really talking about it. Everyone's talking about Mahomes, and even Caleb Williams is getting more love. I'm not going to bet on this one. I think there's more games out there that have better value, but I think it's going to be a good game to watch, and it should be a good test.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, just to kind of hint on kind of what you guys were talking about at the quarterback play. I think it's going to come down to a lot of the quarterback play, but just note Lamar Jackson last week was 18 for 27 with 157 yards and 1 touchdown. He also had 5 carries for 17 yards. Not really, big stats that we're talking about here. Lamar's been playing pretty good all year. But he still hasn't been that world beater that we've been expecting him to be. That Mahomes kind of character, that what used to be this guy named Josh Allen character, who's just we wouldn't really talk about him anymore. But but anyway, I don't know. I love Seattle in this spot. Only reason being is because of this number. Like Troy was saying, the 5.5. That's just a number that you gotta take when these two teams are gonna play close. This is gonna come down to a turnover battle of who wins this game. It's gonna be a 1-score game. We're just gonna have to hope it's at least within a field goal if it's not in our favor. But I think whoever wins the turnover battle here is going to win the game. Baltimore really hasn't been a great red zone offense this year. We saw when they played the Steelers, they couldn't get it in. These receivers are a little overrated. OBJ's kind of washed up. Zay Flowers is good, but he's a rookie, and that's really their number one guy right now. So I think it's going to be a close game. I can definitely see Baltimore winning it by a field goal, but hey, that'll give us the cover because I got Seattle plus 5.5 for one of my picks of the week. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop into this next one. Next one we got is Arizona at Cleveland. We got Cleveland minus 7.5 with an over under 37.5. My quick 2 cents on this one is just, only way I could look would probably be Cleveland minus 7.5. I think originally it was 8.5, which really confused me because I thought a lot of the big money would be coming in on the Browns. But it looks like a lot of the big money is actually coming in on Arizona, which is a little weird to me. So for that reason, I'm gonna stay off of it. Honestly, I don't even really lean anyway. If I had gun to my head, I'd probably put Cleveland minus 7.5. But I'm gonna stay away from this one. You got anything on this one, Troy?
No, I totally agree with you. Me and you were talking this morning, and I told you I was debating between taking the Browns or the Falcons. I ended up going with the Falcons, obviously, but yeah, no, I would definitely take the points with the Browns here. Well, again, let's not overcomplicate it. Who's playing quarterback for the Cardinals?
Yeah, nah.
Right? It's like, what's his last? What is Tune? Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know what the guy. Yeah, so. And if he doesn't play, they said Kyler might come in and play. But are we really going to – we think Kyler's going to come in after not playing for like a year and light it up against this Browns defense? Absolutely not. Yeah, so I would take the 7.5 with the Browns. The only reason it's not in there is I have 3 other plays that I think are of more value, but this is another underplay as well. You got P.J. Walker versus Mr. Tune over there with Arizona. So not a lot of offense, under 37.5. Don't really – under 30, I'm taking it there as well. So it definitely lean the under. Nick, what you think?
Yeah, no, this is just a stay away game in my opinion. I mean, it's just the QB play. I don't know who's starting for Arizona now. They traded away Dobbs. It's just I'm not going to say much more on it. It just doesn't have any interest in me.
It's a weird game. It's
the player props. I pulled them up earlier, and there's literally nothing. I mean, I used Bovada. Mm-hmm. There's nothing on there. There's no receptions, no rushing.
Yeah,
right. It's just there's nothing.
This is one of those games too that I don't even want to have to watch. You know what I mean? I don't want to even put money on it because I don't want to have to watch it.
Another thing we could possibly look at too is the team total for Arizona is at 14.5. I don't see how they get there, so I would probably take the under in that. That might be a play for me this week as well. So I think that's probably your best bet. Like the Cardinals aren't scoring on this defense.
I would definitely say that's probably the best play on this one. I like the under 14.5. But let's hop into this next one. I like this spot a lot on this next one. We got the LA Rams traveling to Green Bay. We got Green Bay minus 3 with an over-under of 38.5. I'll kind of save. I got a pick on this one, so I'll kind of save it for the cleanup spot. But you got anything on this one, Troy?
Yeah, the Rams have upset me 2 weeks in a row. Took them 2 weeks in a row, and they both times didn't have a chance of even covering the spread. Not even close.
Mm-mm.
Got killed by the Cowboys last week, as we mentioned earlier in the pod. So yeah, I mean, it's just one of those where I'm like kind of fading the Rams here from now on, unless I get a really really good spot, and I just can't help myself. And I don't think Matthew Stafford's playing. That's kind of Green Bay -3. That's telling me that he's not playing. That's where that
Yeah,
line is.
UCL. He's out, I think.
Yeah. So it's just you can't take that Rams team without Stafford. That's the
I mean,
only
maybe
reason
if it had
they've won.
Stetson. I mean, that's the only other.
Yeah, but I don't know what he's doing. I don't, prayers to him. I hope
He's shotgunning beers, baby. He's having a great time.
Let's not talk bad about that. He's going through some issues, but I just don't like this game. It's one of those, like we talked about the game before with the Browns. Like, I don't have any interest in this game. There's no value for me any side. Matthew Stafford is the only reason they've won 3 games. If he's not playing, absolutely not. So
yeah,
Brett Ripon
is the starter. Dresser win, or it's just this would have been a good game if Stafford would have played, but it's just it goes back to what Christian says. If I can't watch it, I'm not gonna bet it.
Right. Exactly. Well, I'm gonna be watching this game because I got Green Bay -3 is one of my plays of the week.
Whoa, okay.
The reason that I actually have this play is I got a little insider information on line movements here. So supposedly that if Matt Stafford even had a chance to play, there's no way that they would have opened this game up at -3 because of the number. They would have opened it up at -2.5 and made people take the hook. Anytime that there's a for sure number, like a round number, like -3, and there's an injury involved like that, supposedly anytime there's an injury in, like, for instance, if it's 6.5, if it moves to 7 because of an injury, usually they're not going to play because the books don't want to give you that number if they have any doubt in their mind. So yeah, I don't think he's playing this game where it'd be at 2.5. So I'm going to hammer Green Bay -3. They've taken, I believe, 2 straight losses at home, which is very unlike the Packers. I think this is a big turnaround spot. This is Love's I think this would be his first win at home as a starter. So I would like to see Green Bay get the dub here. I think they get it done pretty easily. I don't think Matt Stafford plays, and I think Green Bay wins this by more than a touchdown.
Christian, he's 1-2 this year at home. I think they beat the Saints and came back, if I remember correctly.
Oh, that's right. That was at Green Bay. Okay, so 1-2.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Troy.
Also, I see what you're saying with the line thing.
Right.
But I also think Matthew Stafford's worth way more than half a point. I think he's more worth probably 2.5, 3.
Did you watch the past 2 games?
I've watched the entire season. He's worth way more than a half a point. But anyways,
maybe last year, but I don't know about.
I know. I promise you, quarterbacks like that are not worth a half a point. But I see what you're saying. Like,
right.
they have the line there because of I get what you're saying.
Yeah. But yeah, so I love Green Bay -3 here. I think they cash this, and Jordan Love goes to 2-2 at home. But yeah, let's move on to this next game. We got Tampa Bay at Houston. This is kind of a weird spot. I really wanted to take Tampa Bay plus the 3. Only reason I'm out, if this game was in Tampa Bay, I'd feel a little bit better about it. But away on the road, and the Texans just lost to the Panthers, man. That's another thing. The Panthers just got the first win on them, and not to mention it was Bryce Young versus C.J. Stroud, and he outplayed him. So I think this is a bounce back spot for C.J. Stroud. So I'm not going to take it. But if I was to lean anyway, it'd definitely be Bucks plus the 3. But yeah, I'm not going to touch it. You got anything, Troy?
Yeah, great. I would lean the Bucks plus the points as well. But I think the books have the line right. So there's just not a ton of value for me at that number of 3. I think it's going to be a field goal game anyway. So nothing for me here. Not really worth my time really mentioning anything. Nick, what do you think?
No, I don't like this thing at all. It's just like you say, it goes back that if I can't watch it, I'm not gonna bet it. So
yeah.
However, the prop line on this for Baker is actually pretty good. I mean, 1.5 passing touchdowns. I think that's very doable. And then the passing yards over 239. So they like to air the ball out. I do think they weren't as hot as what they were earlier in the season. Everyone thought they could run away with that division. I think it's kind of settled down now. But
Hey,
I
Nick,
would probably lean +3.
Nick, check that future at the bottom of my screen. That's who's winning that division. Saints NFC South, baby.
He's got the
Okay,
Saints
yeah.
in the NFC South.
Yeah,
man.
you're picking the best quarterback. Yeah.
There you go.
With that at all. But no, this game just doesn't excite me. Like I said, there's about 7 good games and it's about 6 like really awful. I don't want to watch games. So this is one of them.
Right. Absolutely. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop into this next one. We got Washington at New England. We got New England -3.5 with an over/under of 40.5. I mean, these are just two teams that are just like, what the hell are they doing? They're so hard to bet on because you only bet the Commanders when they're playing the Eagles, or you don't know what you're getting with them. They got blown out. They play close with the Eagles, but they get blown out by the Bears. You got New England who beats the Bills but can't beat, it's just, you don't know what you're getting with these teams. Stay away from this game. Don't touch it. You got a -3.5 hook. You got Patriots and Commanders. If I've ever seen a don't touch game on a schedule, this is it. So yeah, I'm staying away from this one. No, not even a lean. You got anything on this one, Troy?
Yeah, the books right here with that 3.5 are tempted you to take Washington. And it's proving because the public's all over Washington +3.5. So you 100% take the Patriots here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not going to be one of my plays because I don't trust Mac Jones, and that's the simple answer. But yeah, I would not even come close to touching Washington because I've seen this story way too many times. So yeah, nothing for me. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, I would lean, like you said, Troy. Patriots at home, Belichick versus Sam Howell. The under doesn't look too bad here either, I guess. I mean, in the 40s, I would expect something like this would be, 34, 35.5. So, I mean, I can see this game being like a 24-10, you know what I mean? So, the problem is, it could probably be less than that because I don't see a team scoring 24. This can be pretty ugly. You probably have to check the weather up in New England as well. It could.
Also, the Commanders just traded away their 2 best defensive linemen, I believe. Or did they get a deal done for Sweat? I know.
Yeah, it's Sweat to the Bears. Yeah,
that's right. And then
makes no sense.
Chase Young to the 49ers. Yeah.
And then Chase Young to the 40. Yeah, so that's also another thing is Commanders with none of their 2 best defensive players, which is just crazy. But yeah,
this game is like
ugly, man. Ugly. Well, let's get into this next one. We got another ugly one, but somewhat ugly. Chicago at New Orleans. New Orleans -8.5. The over/under of 41. I believe this game opened at 7.5. Earlier in the day, it was at 7.5 because me and Troy were talking about it. I kind of like the Saints at 7.5. I really wish it was at that 7 number, but we're not going to get that with the Bears, unfortunately, especially on the road. I think the Saints are about to turn it around, to be honest with you. I think the Saints are going to be on my sheet for a good bit for the rest of the year. I think that they are, like Troy said, I am a Falcons fan. I think it is between the Falcons and the Saints right now. With the Falcons making that change at quarterback, that's going to be huge for them. It's just a matter of who can get more NFC South wins at this point, Derek Carr or Taylor Heineke. And honestly, I think they're on the same level, believe it or not. But yeah, 8.5, that's a weird number. It's too big for me to take the Saints now. Definitely ain't taking the Bears +8.5. I can guarantee you that. Not on the road against that defense. So I'm going to stay away from this one. You got anything on this one, Troy?
Yeah, when I first saw this Sunday, I was all over the Bears. It was going to be my lock of the week, but I don't know what Justin Fields is doing. I don't know if he's playing, and that was the whole reason behind my taking the Bears +8 or 7.5 or whatever it was when it opened. 7.5. It opened at 7.5. So yeah, this was going to be a big play for me, but I don't think Fields is playing, so I'm not betting on the backup there. So definitely passing this one.
Yeah, no. If Fields was going to play, I mean that 7.5 is very attractive.
Yeah.
But like I said, this is another stay away game. But I mean, one thing it is interesting: the QB for Chicago total interceptions thrown is at 0.5. So I think he's in for more than one. So I mean that's a pretty good prop right there. I would lean, but in terms of
I'm loving the prop knowledge tonight, Nick.
Yeah, I'm
yeah, I
loving it.
mean props are where
loving
it's
it.
at. I don't really go a whole lot of straight ups and stuff like that.
Well, there's a
Prop.
lot of people, play only props, and I like that.
Mhm.
I like that. So giving them like a good little look. I like that look, and I also like maybe looking at like a sacks total versus Saints maybe. If Justin Fields is playing, I know Tyler Badge. I wouldn't take that prop if Tyler Badge was playing because one good thing about him that I've heard is he gets the ball out quick. He's very good at getting the ball out of his hands, which is not going to lead to sacks. But Justin Fields, we know, likes to create a little bit, try to get out the pocket, which can cause sacks. So I would look at maybe that sack number 2 because I know that Bears offensive line is god awful, and they're about to face some dogs over in New Orleans. But let's hop in this next game. We love this next game here. We got Indianapolis at Carolina. Carolina plus 2.5 with an over under of 44.5. I'll kind of give my quick little 2 cents on this one. Carolina looked good last week, man. Bryce Young, like he finally got it together. I've always kind of been a Bryce hater. After watching last week, it seems like he's kind of gotten comfortable. It looks like he might be a pretty good, actually a pretty good NFL quarterback. So yeah, I'm gonna bet on him here. We did get this number, or I did get this number at +3. Before it moved to 2.5. So I got Carolina +3 at home against the Colts. So that's going to be my last play of the week. Super excited to watch this game. I haven't really got to watch a Panthers game all year because I haven't bet on them. They've been pretty god awful. But yeah, Carolina +2.5. I think this is a big bounce back. One of those only wins. I think they're going to end the season with like 4 to 5 wins. I think this is one of them. I think they win this outright, to be honest with you. But Troy, you got anything on this one?
Yeah, Christian, I'm with you on that. Give me the Panthers +3. A couple books still have it at 3. Some are at 2.5. If you have a book that has 2.5, just buy the half point and eat the juice. You don't want to lose this by a field goal and then be like, well, shit, I should have bought the half point. So yeah, Carolina +3. New play caller there. I really liked what he did last week. A lot of motions, getting Bryce Young out of the pocket. That's where he needs to be. He doesn't need to be sitting behind 6'5" offensive linemen. Get him out of the pocket. Let him move. Let him use the athleticism. That's what they did last week, and he looked pretty good doing that, right? So, and let's Gardner Minshew and the Colts. They're not 2.5 3-point favorites on the road. They're not that good. Let's not give them
Defense
that much
is horrible.
credit. Yeah, so I just don't see a world where they're 2.5-point favorites on the road. 70% of the public's on the Colts. All the money's on the Panthers, and just a telltale sign for me as well. Yeah, give me the Panthers +3.
Yeah, I would probably actually lean the Colts. It's just
Someone
I
leaned the
think
Colts last week, Troy. Didn't someone lean the Colts last week?
yeah, it's just
Oh, we got
I
another
think their
one.
defense is actually better. I don't know. I think their total defense is better than you guys think. But they've had some like shootout games, and just kind of they've gotten into some dogfights as well. But this is just not a good attractive line for me either. If since we're already on the props like I did last time, I'll probably lean Adam Thielen. He had 5.5. The line was 5.5 last week. He went for 8. So I assume it's going to be somewhere around 5.5, 6. Probably go that as well again.
I think he's
Because
blown
they're
past that every week. It's
Yeah.
like every week the dude's getting like 15 targets a game too.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that's his target. That's Bryce Young's first target. But in terms of like betting this thing, I don't like it because I can see a point where this could be a shootout as well and be like a 29-32 game, something like that. And then in the under, I could see Bryce Young just completely blowing it up, and they only score like 1 touchdown, maybe get 10 points. But I don't like anything about this game. Enough of that.
Absolutely. Just kind of something about the Colts defense as well. They have allowed 29 points a game this season to opposing offenses. We had the Jaguars in week 1 put up 31. Texans to week 2 put up 20. Week 3, Ravens put up 19. Rams put up 29 on them. Titans put up 16. And then listen to this, boys. The last couple weeks, Jaguars 37. Browns 39. Saints 38. I think this is a field goal game. I think Bryce, like Troy said, Bryce has gotten comfortable in this offense. He has a play caller that is playing calls and building an offense around him finally, rather than saying, "Hey, step into this system. This is how we do it." So yeah, I love this spot. We got Carolina +3. Let's cash it. Next game we got is going to be the Giants traveling to Vegas. We got the Giants +1.5 with the over/under 37.5. This game did open up at Giants +2.5. I really like the Giants at +3. If it was at that +2.5 number and I could buy the juice up to 3, I love that play. It'd probably been one of my plays of the week if it was stayed at 2.5. But me and Troy were talking about it earlier. McDaniels just got fired. I think they're gonna play kind of angry. They're gonna play for their guys. And they're going to get Devontae Adams the ball. So I would look at a Devontae Adams prop maybe. That would be the only kind of play that I could see in this game. He's been kind of god-awful the past 2 or 3 weeks. So I could look at a Devontae Adams bounce back, new play caller, new head coach. Hey, let's get the ball to our best player type game. Yeah, what you got on this one, Troy?
Yeah, no, the line opened up at 3, and it's come down all the way to 1.5 now. And then we had the news of McDaniels. You're on the East Coast, you were probably sleeping, but him and the GM got fired, obviously. And then they announced today that Garoppolo is going to the bench, Aiden O'Connell starting. Just too many unknowns. Like, we're not betting on games where there's too many variables going around, like new head coach, new backup quarterback coming in. I don't know if Daniel Jones is playing for the Giants. Just way too many things going on here. And we're not putting money up when that many things are going on. So, yeah, big pass for me.
Yeah, no, I don't like this game either. I think what did the Giants have last week? They were -9 passing yards or something like that. I mean, it was bad.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's still almost won.
They were getting booed.
It was raining, but still -9.
Yeah,
Like,
and the fans were chanting, pass the ball. You know what I mean? I mean, it was like 3rd and 11. They were just running the ball.
A great spot for the Jets if they had any type of offense besides.
But I do think, teams off of a head coach firing, I mean, they're probably pretty good. You know what I mean? I mean, especially 1.5. I mean, I could see a point where someone would just take this and the points. So it won't be me though.
Yeah, for sure. And we saw what the Colts did last year when they fired their head coach. Won the next game with Jeff Saturday and Paxton Lynch as a play caller, who was like a 23-year-old college student that they found on the street outside the stadium.
Paxton Lynch, I think, was a first-round draft pick out of Memphis, if I remember correctly. So he wasn't just some random dude. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but as a play caller, he's not nobody. You know what I mean? But yeah, and another thing too, is just it's also on the road. Like, that's the only reason I didn't take the Giants too. Is like they're gonna be at their home stadium playing for each other. So yeah, if I was to lean anyway, it would definitely be that Devontae Adams prop that I was talking about. I would look somewhere there. But yeah, let's hop into this next game here. We got a huge game of the week here, in my opinion. Dallas at Philadelphia. Philly -3 with an over/under of 46. My quick 2 cents is, I mean, supposedly you get -1.5 for it being at home. A whole nother -1.5 is really telling us, hey, this Philly team is a lot better than this Cowboys team, and the records just don't show it yet. But yeah, I'm not a big believer in this Cowboys team. I think they got to get a new quarterback. Not big on Dak Prescott. I don't think he can consistently win playoff games and get them to the Super Bowl. And they have the talent around him to get to the Super Bowl. So yeah, I would definitely lean Philly -3. I think Dak Prescott gets hit a lot, takes a lot of sacks. So yeah, the only way I could look at this would definitely be Philly -3, but I'm gonna stay away from it. You got anything on this one, Troy?
Yeah, no, Eagles -3 is a play for me this week. So go ahead and put it up there. Let's not overcomplicate this. Philly's the better team. They're way more physical than Dallas. Defensive line is going to just go to town on that offensive line for the Cowboys. We've seen it week in and week out. It doesn't matter who the offensive line is. They're better than everybody. Um, and then offensively, I mean, Jalen Hurts and the A.J. Brown, the boys, DeAndre Swift has been huge for them. They score points, man. They score 30 points a game, I feel like, every time. And then one more note, when the Cowboys play really good the week before like they did last week, the next week they just forget how to play football. We saw that with when they got blown out by the Arizona Cardinals and Josh Dobbs after a big win, and everybody's talking about, oh, the Cowboys are the best in the league. Yeah, and then give up 30 points to the Cardinals. So this is just a spot. I'm taking Philly at home. I don't want to think too much about it. I think I just don't see how Dallas can come in there and win. I mean, we've seen this story too many times over the years. I don't see how it happens. So, yeah, give me Philly -3.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. My dad's a Cowboys fan, and I'm telling him, I'm like, I just until you win a big game, and you played Philly last year. I mean, you beat Gardner Minshew, but I mean, you haven't played like a good quarterback. We saw it when they played the 49ers. I want to believe in them, but I mean, if they win this game, I'll think differently. But I think they need a new quarterback. I think Diggs being out hurts, and they didn't do anything at the trade deadline, which sucks.
Yeah.
I thought they would, for sure would move on a corner, maybe the guy from the Bears, but this is one of my plays, Philly -3. I'm really surprised that it's only 3 points, 4.5. I would have thought, but what did this line open up at, Troy?
I think
It opened at 3.
Yeah,
It opened at 3. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So basically, what they're saying is on a neutral site, I think Philly's -1.5 at Dallas. It'd be a pick 'em. So that makes sense to me. Yeah. So 3 points. We'll take the push if it ends on that. But yeah, we both love this spot for the Eagles. I mean,
Love it.
It'll probably be a game time play for me. It'll probably be one of those ones like, hey, I'm gonna be watching this game. I want to have a little neck in the game.
Yeah, Dak he's probably sitting at like 0.5 interceptions as well. I mean, I think he gets over that.
Yeah.
He's gonna get so much pressure. He's gonna force one or two. It's gonna get picked off. So if you can find a Dak Prescott interceptions at 0.5 and pretty good odds, and I'd take that one.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Maybe a little parlay. Maybe a little what's his name?
Yeah.
Badgett and little Badgett Prescott
Yeah,
interception
Badgett, yeah.
parlay. I like
Yeah,
it.
prey on the downfall, bro.
I like it. Prey on the downfall. But all right, let's hop into this next game here. We got Buffalo at Cincinnati. We got Cincinnati -1.5 with an over/under of 49.5. I believe that this line opened up at 2.5, if I'm not mistaken. If I was to go anywhere, I'd probably be all over the Bengals, man, at home. I think that I honestly think that the Bills are kind of frauds, to be honest with you. Not a big believer in Josh Allen. I think he's a little bit of an overrated quarterback in the league. But yeah, just Bills, you never know what you're going to get with them. That's the only reason I'm staying away from this one is some weeks they look like world beaters, and some weeks they're losing to Mac Jones and the Patriots. So I'm going to stay away from this one. But you got anything on this one, Troy?
yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the lock of the week. Bengals minus. What about? I got it at 2. Yeah,
you got it at
I'm taking
2.
it at 1.5 as well. Don't really care. As Jamar Chase said, Burrow is back, baby. The calf is good. I don't know if y'all saw that game last week, but we got the pocket presence that we liked out of Joe Burrow. Buddy was slinging that thing against the 49ers in that defense. The Bills' defense has a ton of injuries. I don't see how they cover Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd. I just don't see it. Joe Mixon has been, questionable this week, I think. I think he plays. And then Josh Allen. He's looked kind of suspect the last couple weeks. Not sure what's going on. But this defense for the Bengals is underrated. I think they played well all year, and they've won the Bengals a couple games this year when they were struggling in September. So, yeah, I think the Bengals – I don't think this is going to be close. I think they win by 7 to 10 points. And the Bills are going to be too focused on DeMar Hamlin and talking about all that, while the Bengals are going to be focused on football. So, yeah, give me the Bengals.
We can't talk about Stetson, but we could. Okay. But all right, but
I'm getting serious about Stetson, but whatever.
Yeah, what you got on this one, Nick?
No, this is actually I see it's at 1.5 now, but I had it at 2. This is one of my plays as well. Yeah, I mean, I also like the over on this as well. I mean, Troy did. I mean, their defense has for the Bengals has done pretty good, but I could see Bills playing from behind, and then just this being like a 31 like 24 game as well. I mean, so 49 points doesn't seem like a whole lot. So I like the over and Cincinnati -1.5. But if this game was at home for the Bills, I would like it.
It'd be different, a lot different.
Yeah, a lot different. I mean, you saw how they played Miami at home. Everyone thought Miami was the greatest offense of all time. They're a good offense, but the Bills brought them back down to earth. But if
we had that on the pod.
Yeah, we were all over that.
Yeah, Bills if find a way to win this game, I'll think differently. But I agree. I'm not high on Josh Allen. I called it about 3 years ago. I just don't really like how he plays football. It's kind of gunslinger, but at the same time, it's kind of reckless. He threw 4 interceptions against the Jets opening night. It's just 4 turnovers. I'm sorry. So, give me Bengals 1.5 all day.
Yeah, yeah. Josh Allen is slowly slipping into that Dak Prescott category for me. He's getting on that cusp of
let's not go that
slipping
crazy
in there. I mean, dude, the team he's got is crazy. Gabe Davis, Stephon Diggs. I mean, he's arguably has better receivers than Dak Prescott. He does have better receivers than Dak Prescott, for sure.
He needs an offensive coach.
Yeah, he needs someone that knows how he his style of football and just lets him play and just lets him do his thing, but also puts him in positions where he's not able to fuck up. So
the best year they had was when they had Brian Dable. So
exactly, that is true.
And ever since then, it's just kind of been they lost their Bengals last in the playoffs and they barely beat Miami.
It's like one game they're like on fire, another game they're scoring 13 points. It's too wishy-washy.
Yeah.
And Joe Burrow is back, baby. I'm just going to keep saying it.
He is back. Well, let's hop into – well, before we hop into Nick's picks here, I just want to give a quick shout-out to our new show that is now getting posted every Wednesday on the channel. Y'all see the jersey I'm repping. Go Dogs. We got a college football playoff show now, or college football show now, who gets into playoff pictures, looks, previews of the week. They give you their best bets of the week, so you get a little bit of everything. You get a recap of the last week, you get a preview of this upcoming week in the big games, and you also get their bets. So yeah, check them out. Dropping every Wednesday at 11 a.m. So yeah, show them some love over there.
Christian, we got the Monday night game. Chargers at the Jets.
Oh, we got Chargers at Jets. My bad. Yeah.
Jets.
Jets. Jets. Fuck them for pushing last week. But anyway, Jets. At home against the Chargers. Chargers -3 with an over-under of 40.5. I mean, after watching that Jets game last week, I called Troy and I wanted to be all over the Chargers, man. But he made a good point when it came to this Jets defense. They beat good quarterbacks, and I think that's honestly a great point because it's you never know what you're gonna get with the Jets defense. It's weird. It's like they can't stop a run. They literally couldn't stop the Giants from running the ball every single play. They had -9 passing yards, and they still drove down the field, and they had dumb penalties. It was just an all-out dog shit game. But yeah, I wanted to be all over the Chargers. Still might be a game time play for me because it is Monday night. I'm going to be bored sitting at the house on a Monday night, wanting to watch some football. So yeah, I'm probably going to take the Chargers -3, but I have a feeling game time it might be at -3.5. And I don't like that hook. So yeah, I'm gonna stay away from this one. I like my plays a little bit better. You got anything on this one, Troy?
Yeah, no, you literally said what I was gonna say because I told you earlier. But yeah, the defense here beats up on good quarterbacks, as Saleh said in his presser. Made Jalen Hurts look like a rookie. Made Patrick Mahomes look the worst I've ever seen in his career. He threw 2 picks, should have been 3. The guy dropped it in his hands. And they should have lost that game if you guys were watching. And then last week, the Jets somehow pulled that victory off. But, yeah, I would lean Jets plus the points here. They're going to have a plan for Herbert. But, again, it's hard to trust Zach Wilson. So it's just one of those where we have better value in other plays. So we're going to pass this one. But you definitely don't take the Chargers here. But, anyways, go ahead, Nick.
We'll see.
Yeah, I do have them in a teaser, but that's at +6. So
that's different
for a 1-score game. Honestly, the Chargers should win this game outright. I mean, Jets O-line has 4 guys out, You got Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa rushing the passer. I mean, it's going to be a lot of third and longs. They should win this game, but I watch a lot of Chargers games because of Herbert, and they don't win those games. So I'm not going to bet them, at least not in terms of -3 or anything like that. But the teaser, I'll take them in that. But I think Staley's job's on the line as well. They're 3-4, and the Jets are 4-3. I mean, Chargers need it more. So Herbert's playing good off of the finger injuries last week, but that was Bears defense. So Jets a little bit different. But I'm not going to be betting this game in terms of Chargers -3 though.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's another thing too is I was kind of talking to Troy about this, and I was like, I just don't see the Chargers losing this game. Like, they have to win this game.
I don't want to bet it.
Yeah, exactly. They have to win this game.
Yeah.
And that's why it may be a game time play for me, but it's kind of an emotional bet for me because I think the Chargers are such one of the best football teams in the NFL.
Just get like that. Yeah,
and also a little sneak peek to the college show, Nick. They the boys had y'all's Oregon Ducks at number 4 for their ranking, their college.
Yeah, maybe at the end of the season, maybe not right now though.
Yeah. I mean, you lost to Washington. It's like, how are we putting?
Yeah, you got to put Washington.
I get what they're saying. I get what they're saying. They should have won that game easily. Dan Lading pulled a Staley here, so fitting that we're talking about that ranking show right now. But anyways, yeah, I think, like we said, the Chargers should win this game, but they should have won a bunch of games, and it just doesn't happen.
Yeah,
so
that is true.
We got to stay away. So
Absolutely.
with that being said, let's go into Nick's picks here. And to the left here, you see our top guest pick records. Wanted to show those to you. So Brennan last week went 3-0, had a huge week. Zach in week 2, our first guest picker, 2-0-1, and those two guys fittingly are a part of our college show. And then Luke, week 3, 2-1. So those are our top 3 out of the 9 weeks we've been doing this. So Nick, what you got for this week? I know you talked about it earlier, but go ahead and go through them.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot like yours, right? I mean, I got Falcons.
Exactly like mine.
But I got Eagles -3. I got Bengals -2 or the 1.5. I'll take that as well. And then can't fit it all on the screen. I'll go through my 9-point teaser as a bonus. It's a 9-point plus 185. You got Eagles +6, Chargers +6, Ravens +3, Bengals +7, and Chiefs +6.5. I mean, those are all going to be one-score games in my opinion. So I love that. I don't try to shoot like home runs and plus 2,000 parlays here. But plus 185. I mean, I think the only one I lost last week was all season was last week. It was the Chiefs plus I think 6 against Denver. So the teasers are where it's at for me. But yeah, those are the picks.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, that's been this week. Troy, you want to sign us off and give a little shout out to him?
Yeah, Nick, appreciate you coming on, buddy. Go Ducks, go Dogs. Big week for the against the spread team this week. We're gonna go 8-0. That's what we want. We'll see what happens, but we'll see you next week for week 10, and hopefully we'll win you some money. So see you, everybody.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, man. Peace, guys.